Live stream started. I'm doing a recording as a backup. All right.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee meeting. I am Naomi Pemberton, the chair. And today we have the I did submit minutes. Jeremy, are you on the phone still? Jeremy? Okay. I did submit minutes. I don't know if everybody reviewed it. I did email it last week. So I don't know if committee members, did you review it?
I didn't get the email.
You didn't get the email?
No.
Did you get my email?
I did.
Veronica, did you get my email? Ellie, did you get my email?
Email I got today. It went to my AOL. That's the email that I respond to. The other one's no longer working. The MAR.
Oh, okay.
No longer working.
So we can't do a vote on the minutes.
I think Veronica tried to reply. She may be on mute.
Veronica, did you want to speak? Veronica? Okay. Okay, so we can't do, I'll just resend it out, and we can vote on it next month, okay? So today there was supposed to be a presentation on fare evasion. So I'm just going to open up the topic. The person is not going to present, or Swipe It Forward is not going to present. I'm going to just present the issue and talk about it as a per Black History Month. This is some issue that I wanted to bring, to the forefront to see as a community what we can do or any ideas that we have. There is an issue where Black and brown people are given the highest summons and tickets in relation to fare evasion. So there is a organization called Swipe It Forward who has come up with the idea to obtain funding or donations so that to avoid a person getting a ticket or a summons, because if you get a ticket or a summons, and let's say you want to go into law enforcement, it can hinder you from getting into law enforcement. So I wanted us as a community to think about that and see what solutions we can come up with to help young people. It's mostly young people of color who are getting tickets and summons. So if we can come up with something, and Swipe It Forward came up with the idea of coming up with funding to help people if they can't pay for their fares. And I just wanted to bring it up, and since it's ethics and disciplinary, I wanted to just bring it up to our committee to see if we can come up with an idea, or is it right? Is it ethical for us to pay forward to someone else? I don't know. So I just wanted to have a little conversation, as it is the Black History Month, and bringing up an issue that is impacting the Black and brown community to see, as a community, because it does affect this community. I can tell you that. And I just wanted to have a civil conversation about it, and then we can move on to the gallery session. So did anybody have any comments? Go ahead, Tiz.
Hi, Naomi. There is a program where you can apply for 50% off discounted fares. So maybe that needs to be more widely publicized.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Okay. And then, do you know if you just do like maybe a Google search and find?
I know I saw it on Twitter earlier. I'll look for it and I'll send you the name of the program.
Oh, okay. And then I can, maybe we can share it with the community board, and so that they can share.
Absolutely.
That's great. That's
And
great,
Swipe
Tiz.
It Forward, just like I think Dunkin' Donuts also has something called Swipe It Forward, where you pay for the person behind you, they pay for the person behind them. and you just keep moving it on.
Okay, sounds good. Another idea that I was thinking, I don't know if we can maybe have donations just for that. And we buy, some MTA cards and we give it out if someone needs it. I don't know. Maybe, like $60 worth and see if, and then just refund, add to the funding as needed. I don't know.
Diana put the name of the program in the chat. Thank you, Diana. It's called Fair Fares.
Oh, Fair Fares, okay. Any other thoughts?
No.
Fair Fares. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jeanette.
So what I wanted to say is that we were talking about, I heard the different committees talking about different events that the community board could do this year. Maybe we could have a combination, block fair, information, organizations come to disseminate different information. I think in terms of the fare evasion, there is a disproportionate amount of individuals of color that get ticketed. And I think that I did look at the information for Swipe It Forward. And I think although their intention is very positive, I think that the way they marketed it might benefit from some modification. Because I feel that if you are wanting people to help, that is a great thing, but you can't denigrate a section of the population. You can't start off by a very strong negative about the police department because some people will just stop reading right there. And I think that that works against what they are trying to do. And I think that when you do that, you turn away people that may have helped and may want to do that. And I do think it's great to pay it forward and maybe help someone out at the turnstile. But we have to, the same way we can disseminate information about fair fares, we can disseminate information about other things that people can do. But it was of value and education to me to see that today because it definitely started me thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you could share it with the speakers that were going to come tonight, but they just may want to take a look at that so that they can appeal to a wider audience.
Okay.
Sorry.
Anything else? Anybody else want to talk about or bring up in terms of this? I see some comments, so thank you for the comments as well in the chat.
So I'm just looking up the Swipe It Forward, and the first thing that hits me is support the resistance.
Mhm.
Resistance to what? I mean, if you can't afford to pay, then there are other ways to help you pay, but I don't quite understand this. What is the purpose of Swipe It Forward? I'm trying to look up more information, but there's not much here.
No, it's more of the. I'm sorry. I wanted to.
Oh, I see.
Swipe It Forward as a
Okay.
foundation. Yeah,
So
it's a.
no,
Yeah.
actually, the first thing when you click on About Us,
Mm-hmm.
in bold letters, it's F the police. We are abolitionists and anti-police. That
Mhm.
I will not support. Cannot support that.
Okay, but the concept of this call was not to talk about Swipe It Forward's platform about police. Today was to talk about how we can help the community in terms of that it's been recorded that mostly Black and brown individuals are ticketed and summoned. And so we want to just kind of say, what can we do as a community board or committee or community to help people who may need to do who are in an issue with fare evasion Or how can we help, how can we assist as a community so that that doesn't happen and they don't get tickets? Because sometimes you don't get your check or you're not working and you need to take, maybe you need to take the train to go to the job interview. I don't know. But it is a problem in our community. So I'm just trying to think, how can we help? What ideas, like you said, I didn't know about the 50% off discount in terms of fare. So that's something we can communicate to the community. Sometimes things are just education. Anything else? Okay, so we can move on to the gallery session. Did anybody sign up? No one signed up for the gallery? Jeremy, are you there? Oh, Diana?
Hi, everyone. I didn't sign up for the gallery, but I am looking forward to the discussion of the CB11 Facebook, which is way down
Oh,
at the
okay,
end of the
next month.
agenda.
Yeah, that's next month. It's in
Oh, I
March.
thought there was something on the agenda for old business or new business.
Oh, okay, okay. We're not there yet. I'll get
Right.
there.
Okay.
Sorry. I forgot about that. Yes. Um, any other gallery session? Okay, good. Jeremy, I had something on here about motions. Did we want to talk about the privacy motion? We can't vote on it, but did you guys want to talk about it?
Was that website I sent you helpful?
Yes, it was
Okay.
very helpful. So what I would like to bring is maybe we can have the bylaws committee handle the privacy standard. How do we do that? Do we just make a motion to at the leadership or the next meeting to have the bylaws committee handle making a motion? Somebody said in the chat, what motion? Okay, so the motion that I have. The motion that I have is privacy standard training. And Tiz did provide a website where we could go to get the training. So that's the motion that we wanted to make at our last meeting to the full board. But they rejected our motion. So I wanted to know now, should we revise the motion or should we see if we could pass this along to bylaws? So that they can
I don't think that would go under bylaws, would it? Because it's something that we want to propose that everyone takes the class. So it's not really adding a bylaw or changing a bylaw.
okay. So should we revisit the motion to have every board member take a privacy training and add that the recommended training that you provided?
Yeah, I believe it was 15-minute training session. I mean, it's not going to take much
Not
time.
gonna be long, no. Okay, so I'll do that. I'll have Jeremy or whoever bring it up on leadership Thursday.
I think we all need to have our privacy protected.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Any old business? And the new business. Oh, that's on the old business, the old motion. I don't know if everybody saw the old the motion, Community Board Level Institute Privacy Standards Training. Okay, so we're gonna make a new motion to have privacy standard training, and we're gonna recommend the website that Tiz provided. Okay. Unofficial social media pages. So I was speaking with the borough president's office, and I wanted to bring it up in this meeting. They're not a fan of community board members having rights to the unofficial community board page. So I wanted to know, should we dissolve that unofficial page?
I don't think we should. There's people that are admins on that page that aren't on the board.
Right, so they're
It's
saying
just the
that we should,
community page.
yeah, but they're saying we should not be administrating that board, that official page. It's a conflict of interest.
Oh, so it should only be non-community board members that are admins on that?
Yep.
Hello, I'm not sure if I can. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How you doing, guys? This is Angel. I couldn't log on. I was trying to use the link so I could be on camera, but for some reason I had to dial in. The unofficial page. So I myself am unfamiliar with it. And for example, if something were to be brought up in the future about this unofficial page, would I be caught in like a dragnet of issues because of this unofficial page? You understand my question? I don't know about an unofficial
Do
page, but from what I
understand your
understand,
question.
Naomi's telling me that they frown upon that from the
Yeah.
VP's office. Right, they frown upon it. So even if whoever's running this page decides to keep it open, if something were to go down with this, would I, as a community board member, be in some kind of connection with this unofficial page is my question? Because if not, then I don't care. But if I would be, then I would say take it down.
Okay, so to answer your question, it is possible that it's not a good, if something goes on in that page that's not a good thing, we could be liable for it. I don't know who will be liable, if it's the person that provided the information, or if it's pertaining to whoever's involved, but it is something that can be a problem.
Naomi, this is Ellie.
Yes.
May we get something in writing from the borough president's office regarding this issue? And all the pros and cons and their actual position? I don't want to hear, hearsay or people are saying about it. If it's an issue with the borough president, I would like to see something in writing explaining why it is and recommending what we should do with that page.
Well, it's not our page to dissolve. It wasn't made by us. It was made by people who were not board members.
Well, whoever, is there something that we're discussing this now? And we're saying that the borough president frowned upon it. Well, I want something in writing where the borough president has a position on this. And in that, she should be talking about the legal issues that can rise from it.
So, I can.
Naomi, as an ethics committee,
Mhm.
aside from what the borough president's position is, which is important to know, and I also agree that it should be in writing. If this is a non-official page that was started by non-CB members, I think the only point at which it becomes an issue is if CB members are becoming admins to the page,
Which we are.
which could get into the area of conflict of interest.
And I think that's where
And
that's a
ethically, I think that is a decision or a conversation
Mhm.
that maybe this committee needs to have.
Because in a way, it's like, if you think about it, it becomes an official page because we're administrating it. You know, so their stance is that it should be non-community board members that are managing the page, if you're gonna keep it. So, I see you, Bob. Give me one sec.
Then the board president needs to come out with a statement that says just that, because we work for the board president. We're her eyes and ears. She should be telling us, if you're a committee board member, you cannot be on this page.
Okay. Also, I'm gonna be presenting next month on social media, the social media policy from the Borough President's Office. And, it does state some things within that policy that we may want to consider in terms of this, issue. So I just want to let you know that. Okay. But I will try to get that in writing. I'm sorry?
Can you
Who's
guys hear me
speaking?
now? I had to call in on a
Yes.
separate phone.
Yes, I can
Hi,
hear you now.
sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, what you're saying is right about the social media page. I think there was some concerns earlier in the year about it, last year, about having admins as controllers on the, as having board members as admins on an unofficial page. So I think there was some concern about that. I think we should, because I think there might be some pushback on that from some people. So if we could get some directive in writing from the Borough President's Office, I think that would help us.
Okay. Anyone else from the committee that want to speak about this?
Well, as far as commenting on the social media page, on the unofficial page, as long as we don't come out and say, as a community board 11 member, I feel this, then
Mhm.
you're speaking your own opinion as a community resident.
I don't know if that's still the way anymore, Tiz, because there's been a lot of talk about how you can't wear different hats. So
Mhm.
whatever you're saying kind of goes into the field of it being you as a board member speaking that opinion. Because, I mean, that's a lot of what we're going through right now. So I think that's something we need to be more aware of too, that no matter what hat we say we're wearing, it basically comes down to your board member.
Right. And, and then, yeah, the social media policy, as as we work for the Borough President's Office, we are held to certain standards as well. So we have to start looking at that. Okay. Bob?
Yes, excuse me. I've been libeled on that page, the Citizens of Community Board 11, by a officer now of the board. And I've given the borough president a chance to take care of this, but she hasn't. And it's from her Bronx Community Board member code of conduct of acknowledgement that every board member had to sign. And there are 6 items, and it includes certain different items, which is part via social media on several of these items. Now, if she's not going to do anything, I am going to sue this member. I'm going to sue the board, and I'm going to sue the borough president for libel, because it happened this is a official community board 11 page, because all the admits are, and this was one of the administrators who was a board member. Okay, so I am very mad, and I've waited enough time, and the borough president hasn't done anything. I am seeking legal advice against this person, the board, and the borough president. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Bob.
One more thing. I'm just going to add what was said about me, that I did unethical things as a board member of Community Board 8, which is untrue, and that I was fired from Community Board 8, which is also untrue. That's what was said. And that's why I'm very mad, and I'm going to sue now.
Okay. Okay, I just want to bring that that concern out from the borough president's office as I was speaking to her. And what we can do at, I guess next, I'm trying to see if we can bring it up at leadership to see how they want to proceed. Any opinions about that?
So we mean,
I think bringing it up to leadership is a good step forward.
Agree.
I agree.
Agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Okay. So,
Diana, big raised.
oh, Diana, go ahead.
Yeah, are you taking gallery comments on this issue?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I feel quite strongly that something has to be done about the Facebook group because very often people are posting about issues that the board is dealing with, like the city of Yes or smoke shops or, you know, countless issues, homeless shelters. And then it gets very murky very fast as to who is speaking as a board member, who's not speaking as a board member, what the board position is. And I also find the moderating is very uneven, that I can submit a post and one moderator would accept it and another moderator would not allow it. And that's like very unclear, you know,
Right.
why that's happening. I have a lot of experience as the admin of the Bronx Park East Community Association Facebook group. And it is really like a full-time job. And you have to put people on post approval and you have to keep checking to see what's being posted and what the comments are like, because you don't want it to turn into a very divisive place. You know, and you don't want it to become overly politicized, and you don't want people to be just descending to, you know, a level of comment where they say, oh, Dems are disgusting, or that's ridiculous, or that's nonsense. You know, you're talking with your fellow community members about issues that everybody cares about and is concerned about. And that kind, you know, people present in this group have acted that way on social media. And there are other groups that are specifically for political discussions where people who, you know, have very different points of view can really go at it with each other. But everybody there's, you know, in it for the same reason. They know what they're getting into. That's the place where you argue about politics, not a community board district group where you're talking about the community. I just feel very strongly about this.
Okay.
I think it's not good for the community board. It's not good for the district. It's not good for the community. It's not a good way to discuss some of these issues. People post memes that are, you know, very designed to get people riled up and to react strongly. And I just don't think that's good.
Yeah.
When are we going to change the name from citizens to residents? I know we couldn't do it right away because you can't change so often the name of a Facebook group, but that was definitely an intention. And to just limit it to citizens is very exclusionary. It really sends the wrong message.
It's not an official page. Whoever made the page
That
can
doesn't
name it
matter.
whatever they want.
No, I really think that
What is
does
the
not
name of the
matter. You
page? I don't
can't
even
get
know what page
away
it is.
with saying this is not an official page because you use the name Community Board 11 in the name of the group. It's a community group.
The person who started the page named it's their page.
Anybody know the name of this page? I don't even know.
Well, why are
I would
you
like to see it.
a moderator of that page? Why
I
is
am not a
Ray
moderator of that page.
Wait a
I am
minute.
not,
We're
I am
not-
not a
Why is
moderator.
Joanne,
No,
why
no,
is
no,
Joanne
no, no,
Ravino
no.
a moderator?
I'm gonna have to mute. I'm gonna have to mute people.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to mute you guys. That's not what we're here to do. That's not what we're here to do. We've expressed our opinion. We're gonna bring, excuse me, we express our opinion. We're going to bring it to leadership. As we stated, we all agreed to that, and we'll bring it to leadership and see what that room states, okay? I don't wanna hash this out here. Thank you for expressing yourself, Diana, but I don't wanna hash it out here, okay? Malcolm, did you want to say something?
Just briefly. I mean, I think that the bigger point of what Diane is saying, and I think this has also been stated by the borough president too. Her office is, a lot of what is said on that in that group, especially by board members, is concerning. Um, it's really, that page, whether it's official or unofficial, it's an unofficial page, but you know, a lot of the stuff that has been put on that page has been used to incite or to, you know, say things that rouse up the community against certain things, and sometimes a lot of what is said is inaccurate, and not true, and it leads to that misinformation part of which does violate the BP's what you call it, code of conduct. So I mean, I think there is special precaution that board members do have to take, to ensure that we're not discussing things that the board should be voting on. We're not discussing things that is leaning towards a certain vote in one way, but ensuring that we are taking our time to be arbitrators and fair and neutral in the process that we undergo. And it does lean to us not, whether or not we are actually giving proper credence in how we treat the issues that are on our table. So I think that's the bigger picture of what Diana is saying, and not just the page itself, but are we really, truly, being neutral in these matters, and looking at things from a very neutral standpoint, and not just the politics of it all, which shouldn't be, which honestly shouldn't even be something that we as board members should be engaging in. But that's all.
Can I say one final thing?
Right.
So I was sent the application today because I have to reapply if I want to remain on the community board, and I was reading through it. And it clearly talks about the responsibility of being on the board. And it does, in the actual application, ask you if you're willing to make these commitments. I think that when we are on the board, we have to take things seriously, and we have to understand that people are not going to see us as, they're going to see us as being a member of the community board. At the end of the day, that's what they're going to see. If this is an unofficial page, then having a member of the community board, an administrator controls the narrative. It can very clearly be seen as a conflict of interest, and why bring that to a board that already has more than enough issues to work out. I think that we have to understand that when you make a commitment to be a member of this board, there are things that you have to modify in your actions and behaviors in order to appropriately represent the entire community. And unfortunately, sometimes that means like maybe you can't on a certain Facebook page put your own opinion out there very strongly, because it's going to be seen, it's going to be evaluated, and it's going to be judged, not as if you're an individual, but as if you are a board member. Just my opinion.
Yeah, agreed. And I think I agree with that. And I think like this is my third or fourth job, right? Being a community board member, you actively are involved, you're actively sharing information and trying to, work on a board together for the community. And there's just certain standards that you're held to. And I think that should be, you know, considered when you're making your opinion on it on unofficial sites. But like I'll talk about it more next month because I'm gonna go through the borough president's social media policy. So anything else? Okay. So I'm going to motion for us to adjourn at 7:37.
Second.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And we'll see, the next meeting is the leadership on Thursday.
Have a good night,
Have a
everyone.
good night.
Peace out.
Good night.
Thank
Peace
you.
out.
Thank you, Naomi.
All right, guys.
All
Be
right,
safe in
thank
tomorrow's
you.
weather, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Naomi, when you go to click off the meeting, make sure you hit that button that says save all files, because it'll save the chat.
Where?
Uh-oh,
When you
save
click to
file.
leave the meeting, a little window will
Oh,
pop up.
save. Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, great. Have a good night, ladies.